Hey everybody, Don Giannetti, lighting-essentials.com and the new Project 52 Pros System.com. Project 52 Pro System.com. That's pro singular. Should I say it again? I'll say it again one more time. Project 52 Pro System.com. Check it out. I think if you're interested in upping your game in photography, it might be just the right thing for you. Listen, have you ever heard yourself say, I can't find any clients? Or nobody wants to pay for photography these days? One of my favorites is, moms with cameras, Momtogs are getting all the jobs. My standards are too high for where I live. I got one word for you. Cow poopy. I'm not going to say the bull word. I'm going to keep it real, G-rated. Cow poopy. Okay? Because this is this is a resistance factor that keeps us down, keeps us from going where we want to go. These terms, these things that we say, this is how we identify desperately needing more self-awareness. Self-awareness is what will lead us from these things. Not having self-awareness, being tied up with the ego, that's how we get there. Some of those problems that we have, it could be pretty easy to spot. The reasons that you're having trouble with photography, the reason you're having trouble finding clients, they can be pretty easy to spot once you divorce your ego from the work. You have to take it from a distance, a cold distance, a dispassionate distance. Perhaps your work isn't really good for the area you're in. For instance, say you live in Ajo, Arizona, or Clifford's Corner, Kansas, and you want to be a fashion photographer. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but good God, that ain't gonna happen. It's not where fashion is. Maybe you live in a small town in the Midwest and your desire is to shoot high-end food. Even if you got all the jobs in town, it probably wouldn't be enough to sustain you. You don't live where the niche that you're working in can happen. But your ego gets so tied up, but my work should speak for itself. People here should hire me because I'm a great fashion photographer. They should hire me to do portraits or what have you. No, not working that way. Sometimes your passion, your desire, it can just be a very wide thing. Like, I'm a photographer and I take all kinds of photographs, but I can't get hired in my little town because, you take all kinds of photographs and nobody knows what the hell you're really good at. And here, I got a clue for you. If you're just starting out and you're taking all kinds of photographs, you just may not be very good at any one of those yet. It's just fact life. I once read this very sad little story on Facebook, and it sticks with me because it was a heartfelt sadness. She goes, I've been a photographer for a year now. Got my camera for Thanksgiving, and now here it is. We're going into the Christmas season, and my friends and my family, they don't even want me to take pictures of them. And I can't even do it for free, and I'm struggling in my business. And I'm thinking, why don't you read that back to yourself and ask yourself, if you can't give it away, nobody wants it for free, you just may have a problem charging money for it. Maybe you're not ready. And if you've only been doing it for a year, there's nothing wrong with not being ready in a year. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's like, not everybody can be great in a year. In fact, damn few can be great in a year. Knowing you can be tied up and personally involved with this work that you do and not letting it go and express itself or being in the right spot, got to deal with that. Maybe a food shooter living in the Midwest, maybe that food shooter needs to move to a bigger town, a food town. If you're really invested in shooting food, move to a food town. They're out there, San Francisco, Dallas, Chicago, New York, Boston, Miami. They're out there. Atlanta. Maybe that fashion photographer needs to move to New York City or Brooklyn or the Bronx, Staten Island, Long Island. Have I made myself clear? Good. Don't suffer under the delusion, though, as you're working through why you can't get work, why nobody wants to hire you. Don't suffer through the delusion that it's their fault. See, nobody wants to pay for photography. That's their fault. My standards are too high. That's their fault. I can't find any client. That's their fault. It's your fault, partner. Your fault. Right on top of your shoulders. If you can't find clients, that's your problem. If nobody wants to pay you for photographs, that's your problem. You're going to have to fix it because they're willing to pay somebody else. And if they aren't really willing to pay anybody else, they're not a client. Never going to be. Now, when you're making this change, this understanding of getting your ego out of it and figuring out why it is you can't make the work, you're in the wrong place. Your work's too wide, or it's too narrow, or maybe, just maybe, you're not good enough yet. Nothing wrong with that. The only thing ever wrong with being not good enough is not knowing that you're not good enough. Or even worse, knowing that you're not good enough and still plugging ahead trying to do something and just banging your head against the wall. You know what they say about insanity, doing the same thing over and over again? One of the ways that people will fight back from the challenges and other people running their life, one of the ways they'll do that, one of the ways they'll say, hey, not my fault, is becoming a me too. Well, so-and-so is doing well, so I'll do that. Well, that guy's doing this, so I'll do that. You know, she's got this cool promotion, so I'll do that. Me too, me too, me too. You know what? Being a me too is never going to be a number one proposition for you. Me too always means second line. There are very many me toos, way too many me toos. You can't be a me too. The only thing you can do is to turn around to yourself, have self-awareness and say, I'm not making this. I'm not finding clients. I'm not finding people who want to pay for my work. It's my fault. It's my responsibility to fix it. Nobody else's. Work your niche out. Find out what it is. If you're taking pictures of something that people don't want to have pictures of, don't give me that, well, I'm an artist and they'll just have to come along with me. Oh, crap. You want to make a living or not? You don't, go drive for Uber and make pictures of dog poo or whatever it is that you're doing that nobody wants to buy. But don't be a me too. Be a me first. Be yourself. Be authentic. Take responsibility for where you are in your business and fix it. That's all you have to do is just fix it. I don't know how to fix it for you. I can tell you that it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take you taking a lot of pictures. So here you go. If you're aware that it's you, go out and fix it. I'll see you next time.